Chiefs Kingdom, stop scrolling right now. Arrowhead just erupted with breaking news, and one critical timeline is already shaking our front office. 21 days until the regular season kicks off. A two-time Pro Bowl anchor is battling a mysterious hip setback. Andy Reid just unveiled two rookie weapons who exploded against the Rams, and our number one receiver is facing a brutal physical reality check. Insiders warned us this morning, and here is your first concrete payoff. While Patrick Mahomes looks fully healthy, guard Trey Smith has officially missed every single practice since his hip flared up over a week ago. If you bleed red and gold more than you hate the Raiders, hit like and subscribe right now. We start immediately with the trench crisis threatening Mahomes' pocket. A silent siren just went off inside the training facility at Missouri Western State University. While everybody was obsessing over quarterback rehab and first-round cornerbacks, a far more dangerous problem was quietly brewing right in the trenches. Can this offensive line actually keep Patrick Mahomes upright if the most dominant mauler on the roster cannot step onto the field? Whispers turned into footprints, and the name dominating coach Andy Reid's press conferences is Trey Smith. The two-time Pro Bowl right guard was completely held out of the preseason opener against the Los Angeles Rams, and the alarms are growing louder every single day. Look at the brutal reality of this situation. Smith suffered a hip injury more than a week ago, and since that moment, he has missed every single team practice. When Andy Reid stepped up to the microphone on Monday, he tried to calm the storm by saying, "Trey is doing good and getting close." But Reid could not even guarantee if Smith will practice at all this week. That vague optimism sounds eerily identical to what we heard 7 days ago, and Chiefs Kingdom knows that when a hip issue forces a player to consult specialists, short-term labels can quickly turn into season-altering nightmares. Remember that until last season, Trey Smith had never missed a single start in his entire NFL career. Then a back injury knocked him out from weeks 13 through 15, followed by an ankle problem that severely compromised his finish to the year. Now, just 10 months later, his hip is acting up before week 1 even arrives. The front office handed him a massive, lucrative contract extension before the 2025 season because he is legitimately one of the fiercest interior blockers on the planet, forming an elite tandem alongside Creed Humphrey since they both arrived in the draft class of 2021. But when your 330-pound powerhouse starts accumulating back, ankle, and hip injuries in less than a year, the entire offensive foundation begins to shake. To survive without him, Andy Reid has been forced to orchestrate a chaotic shuffle across the right side of the offensive line. Rookie Khalil Benson, who was only signed back in May after an unheralded tryout at rookie minicamp, was thrown directly into the fire at right guard. That sudden pivot completely disrupted the right tackle competition, where Benson had been logging first-team repetitions against Jalen Moore. On Monday, Reid swapped them again, moving Moore inside to guard and pushing Benson back outside to tackle just to test their versatility under pressure. This positional carousel creates massive ripple effects for the entire 2026 campaign. If Smith is not ready for the regular season opener in less than a month, Kansas City will be forced to start an undrafted rookie or rely on an offensive tackle playing out of position against violent interior pass rushers. That means Mahomes will have less time in the pocket, the inside run game will lose its primary road grader, and complex blitz packages will target that exact gap. How confident are you in Benson and Moore holding down the right side if Smith misses real games? Do you believe the Chiefs should explore outside veteran depth before the waiver wire dries up? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and smash that like button if you believe Trey Smith will battle through this setback and dominate the AFC West. That offensive line puzzle is only the first piece of Kansas City's evolving offensive identity. Because while the veteran front five is fighting through medical evaluations, two unexpected fifth-round rookies just set the preseason turf on fire against the Rams, completely rewriting Andy Reid's offensive depth chart. Preseason games rarely tell the whole truth, but every once in a while a single exhibition evening exposes a superstar spark that coaching staff simply cannot ignore. When the starters were parked safely on the bench against the Los Angeles Rams, who was actually going to step up and prove they belong on a championship roster? Scouts called it electric playmaking and raw violence with the football in hand, and Andy Reid could not stop smiling at the podium. The two names exploding across the film room: fifth-round rookie wide receiver Cyrus Allen and dynamic running back Emmett Johnson. These two young weapons completely flipped the script in Kansas City's preseason opener. Let us start on the perimeter with Cyrus Allen. If you only glance at his final box score of 2 receptions on 5 targets for 20 yards, you are completely missing what actually happened on the field. The tape revealed an explosive route runner who easily separated against NFL defensive backs. Allen would have had a walk-in touchdown if quarterback Garrett Nussmeier had put just a touch more air under a deep shot, and another monster play was unfairly wiped out by an offensive pass interference penalty on Jalen Royals. But the defining highlight came late in the first half on 3rd and 8, where Allen executed an acrobatic mid-air body adjustment to haul in an erratic sailing pass and move the chains. Reed openly praised Allen's quickness, confirming that before a minor camp injury, the rookie was dominating drills, and now that he is healthy, his refined route running is catching everyone by surprise. Meanwhile, in the offensive backfield, Emmett Johnson put on an absolute clinic that has veteran running backs looking over their shoulders. Johnson led the entire offense with 12 carries for 59 tough yards, adding 3 receptions for 10 yards through the air. He displayed sensational patience behind zone blocks, punishing contact balance, and a sudden burst that generated massive yards after contact. Reed specifically highlighted Johnson's toughness and running aggression, emphasizing that the offensive linemen absolutely love blocking for a back who hits the hole with that level of physical authority. This dynamic duo creates immediate tactical advantages for Kansas City's offense heading into the regular season. Johnson's emergence as a legitimate dual-threat playmaker who excels in pass protection and receiving puts immense pressure on incumbent third-down back Rashee Smith, potentially locking up the primary backup role behind Kenneth Walker III. At the same time, Allen provides Patrick Mahomes with another sudden, sure-handed separator who can stretch defenses from the slot or outside. The Chiefs' offense struggled with stagnation during their disappointing 2025 season, but adding versatile rookies who create yards after contact and convert contested catches changes everything. Does Emmett Johnson deserve immediate touches with the first-team offense in Week 1? Can Cyrus Allen surpass the veterans on the depth chart to become Mahomes' go-to secret weapon? If you were impressed by what these young rookies showed against the Rams, hit that like button and tell me in the comments which rookie has a higher ceiling. Yet, as thrilling as these young playmakers look on film, an explosive offense still hinges entirely on the health of its proven WR1. And that brings us to the most delicate, high-stakes situation inside the entire locker room, where a franchise star is battling physical and personal demons to save his NFL career. A championship window can open and close based entirely on the recovery of one single joint. For months, the narrative surrounding the wide receiver room was focused on speed and draft picks. But behind the closed doors of the training camp medical tent, a much more uncomfortable conversation was taking place. The player carrying the weight of the entire passing attack on his shoulders, a talent entering the final year of his rookie contract who just endured the most turbulent off-season of his life, Rashee Rice. This is the ultimate crossroads for Kansas City's top wide receiver. Coming off a deeply frustrating 2025 season where he was limited to just 8 games, catching 53 passes for 571 yards and 5 touchdowns following a 6-game league suspension, Rice desperately needs 2026 to be a redemption campaign. However, his physical condition is raising serious red flags among seasoned beat writers. Longtime insider Nate Taylor from KC Sports Network dropped a sobering report after closely observing Rice throughout training camp practices. Taylor reported that Rice is visibly laboring during on-field drills, particularly when tasked with changing direction at full speed. In one-on-one reps against defensive back Jaden Kennedy, Rice struggled with sudden stops, starts, and explosive breaks out of his cuts. Because of these persistent physical limitations, Taylor even stated he does not expect Rice to reach 900 receiving yards this season. These issues trace back to the severe knee injury Rice suffered in 2024, which required an additional arthroscopic cleanup procedure this past May. While Rice has steadily ramped up his workload to participate in 11-on-11 team drills, the explosiveness that made him such a lethal yards-after-catch monster has clearly not fully returned. Beyond the physical battle, Rice is also navigating the mental aftermath of serving a 30-day jail sentence earlier this year. Speaking publicly on August 11th following his release, Rice described the jail term as a massive reality check and a turning point, emphasizing that he kept his mind engaged through comedy and contact with his athletic trainer. Now he must channel those life lessons onto the gridiron. Patrick Mahomes is also returning from his own ACL surgery, and the established chemistry between Mahomes and Rice is the absolute engine of this offense. If Rice's knee cannot handle full throttle cuts, the Chiefs will be forced to overload young speedster Xavier Worthy and reshape their entire intermediate passing scheme. Can Rashee Rice overcome this lingering knee issue and prove the doubters wrong with a 1,000-yard season? Or will Kansas City have to manage his snaps carefully and pivot their passing attack toward Worthy and the tight ends? Drop your exact yardage prediction for Rashee Rice in the comments below and hit that like button if you stand with number 4 through his recovery. Every single storyline from St. Joseph is colliding into one massive reality for the Chiefs. When you stack the offensive line injuries next to the rookie breakthroughs and the wide receiver health concerns, the blueprint for 2026 becomes clear as day. 3 critical headlines, 1 undeniable truth for Chiefs Kingdom. The trenches are being tested with Trey Smith fighting through a persistent hip injury. Two explosive rookies in Cyrus Allen and Emmett Johnson are injecting pure adrenaline into the playbook, and Rashee Rice is battling the ultimate physical test to reclaim his WR1 dominance. Kansas City does not flinch when adversity strikes. This franchise reloads and conquers. The AFC West believes our dynasty is vulnerable after last season's setbacks, but Andy Reid is quietly engineering a faster, more versatile machine. If Smith stabilizes the pocket and Rice regains his lateral burst, the road to the Super Bowl once again runs straight through Arrowhead Stadium. Now I need 3 quick things from every true Chiefs fan watching right now. First, smash that like button if you believe Patrick Mahomes will lead us to another AFC West title. Second, comment below with your prediction. Will Emmett Johnson become our primary backup running back by week 1? Third, subscribe to the channel right now so you never miss an emergency Arrowhead update. Because here is the double cliffhanger you cannot afford to miss. Inside the locker room, Andy Reid is about to make a definitive roster decision on whether Trey Smith visits another specialist this week before joint practices. And across the division, the Las Vegas Raiders and Denver Broncos are actively scouting our offensive line shuffle, preparing a trade package to poach interior defensive line talent that could disrupt our entire Week 1 scheme. Stay locked in, Kingdom!